half-forward line for West Adelaide. And Mike Smith a little bit lucky not to be penalised because Tony McGuinness penalised for Glenelg just a few moments ago for a similar thing to Smith, and Smith goaled from the free kick.
Kernahan and Williams. Kernahan the front spot. Intercepted by Borchard, then a hurried and quick kick, and little Conlon takes the mark in front of Lahu. Plays it on to Muret, who's normally a good kick for goal, and that's going to go through. He would have got the free kick anyway, so Muret's got a goal for West Adelaide, and they're 10-6 to 9-4, and that's Muret's first.
It'll be interesting to see if the goal umpire is going to give an advantage free kick then, Bruce, or the free back where the push in the back occurred. I think he would have given it back where the kick occurred. Peter Muret's kick was too good. West Adelaide going into attack, taking advantage of that boundary throw in and the possession by Bernie Conlon, and have scored another goal, and Conlon's in everything.
Williams and Kernahan is going to be a long quarter. It has rained goals at Football Park. Kernahan with a long thump. Missed by Lunnis. Kernahan backed up to Duthie. Garton, that was a very good take. And a high left foot around his body. Carey uses his body well, but Micken got the tap away. McGuinness trip. Free kick.
Well, will McGuinness take advantage of his trip? Mike Smith received a free kick, as I mentioned just a moment ago, up in the forward pocket at the other end of the ground. Now Tony McGuinness, similar position, opposite end. Glenelg need this goal. He's concentrating very hard. It's a long kick. It's across the face of the goal slightly, and off hands and out of bounds. West Adelaide are 10-6 and Glenelg are 9-4. 12 minutes into this quarter. Carey from behind lays it back to Lunnis. Lunnis around his body, but he can't clear the pack. Campbell has to take possession. McGuinness tries to kick the ball off the ground for a goal. And West Adelaide clear through Summit and Burgess, and they come down the grandstand wing to Conlon. Conlon's tackled whilst not in possession and will get a free kick. Played a terrific game for West Adelaide in this first quarter and a half. Bad handle though, since Grosser backing up quickly, he gives it to Roger Winter. Roger Winter, the centre half forward. Off hands from Maynard. Mike Smith with a full face of goal. He usually loves these. And he scored. Michael Smith brought on at quarter time to replace Jeff Morris. Scores West Adelaide's 11th goal. They're 11 goals, 6. Glenelg 9-4.
14 points the difference. Williams and Kernahan. Kernahan's worked very hard. McDermott with a high one. Kernahan getting underneath it. So was Bennett. Lindner just sort of laid it off to Filkey. Filkey starting to get some touches. One bounce. Missed kick. Only as far as McFarlane. Punches it towards Garton. Dreyer bringing up the rear and then missed it. Garton breaks Lindner's tackle. Farquhar with a high one. McGuinness taps it on. Conlon playing a great game. Muret. Dreyer. Left foot. Winter takes a comfortable mark.
Roger Winter to Randall Bennett. Dermott propping in front of him, causing him to kick it very high. Peter Maynard, this time dropping back deeper into defence, takes the mark and comes to centre half back. Michael Farquhar's giving him a lead. He takes possession. Long handball to Jim Lahu. He's going to need a lucky bounce. He's held his ground pretty well, Lahu. Well done. He was on falling. I think if it had been left alone, he would have fallen at his leisure. But fortunately for him, when he tried to hold up, he got a bit of a push in the back. And he kicks it down to centre wing. Kernahan takes the mark. A big fellow. Done some very good play in the field. Into half forward to McGuinness. No, it's not McGuinness, it's Garton. How can I confuse those two? Off hands to Hamilton. Hamilton to Williams. It's brought away to Bennett. Bennett's tackled whilst not in possession, and he'll receive a free kick on centre wing.
Wings have been interesting. Bennett having his 12th kick, so he's been a winner. But Simons is one on the other wing, although Filkey is getting some touches now. Bennett to centre half forward. McFarlane. Muret went without it. McFarlane to Lahu. You can see McFarlane playing behind then, Bruce, instead of in front. He's able to fist the ball away as McDermott coming out of half-back now to McGuinness. McGuinness on his wrong leg, goes into the pocket. Brady's on his own. Can he kick his second from out there? It's curving in, but not enough. That would have been a very handy goal for Glenelg if Darryl Rady could have scored it. But unfortunately, he couldn't.
72 points to 59. 13 points the difference.
It's a toe-to-head shot of young Michael Murphy, the rookie who's spending most of this game on the interchange bench with an injury. That's a bad handball by Williams. McDermott to McGuinness. There's a lovely kick to Simons. Two-sided player, McGuinness. Loose handball there by West Adelaide. Craig Williams. Simons is about to have his 12th kick.
I was going to back anyone outside Rocky Roberts to kick a goal. I think I'd like to have my money on this bloke. This will be a tough kick too. It's a long way. He must be a bit tired, but he's usually pretty accurate, I tell you.
And through it goes. So Simons has got his first. Oatie's got his money. And Glenelg are 10-5 to 11-6.
Yes, Tony Simons has played a wonderful game on the centre wing for Glenelg, but fortunately for West Adelaide, Grantley Filkey also has lifted a bit this quarter and picked up a couple of kicks, which have helped West Adelaide immensely. But that play there, a very bad error by Westies, allowing Simons to score that goal.
Michael Murphy injured.
Sorry sight. Sorry sight.
Can't bear to look. Carey with the tap, only as far as Roger Winter. Roger Winter with a high one. Little Conlon's underneath it. And stood his ground and then takes off. Got some toe. Will it set? It won't. He'll run it to the boundary. Walsh did well to keep with him and a ball in.
He's not a Mick Noonan lookalike. I haven't seen one. He's even got the socks down, Bruce.
About the same height.
He's pretty quick. He's running so fast then, those little legs, he couldn't get the top half down.
He's the only league footballer in Adelaide that both you and I are taller than. It's Smith in the front spot, McFarlane over the back. Bennett used his body well. Smith in the pocket, punches a handball to Conlon. Conlon then kicks it off the ground. He's given Roger Winter the chance. McGuinness has got to be careful. He wants to get out of his back. Winter to Luders. Strong tackle though by Frost. Frost to Maynard, back to Frost. On his wrong side. Missed by Somerton. It's cold. Looks to be in some trouble, the Glenelg player there. Kernahan and Dreyer. Rady on the ground. And it'll be a ball up. Burgess coming in strongly on Rady then.
I would say he may have hurt a shoulder, Bruce. Very bad. Some whiplash of the arm, I'd say.
I said Burgess. I think it might have been Micken. Left foot by Filkey. Rady still on the ground. McGuinness waits for it to bounce. Marshall with a quick handball. Carey. Missed by Maynard. It was bad handball by Carey. Borchard's handball is missed again. Walsh, well done by Muret. Now Muret kicked one from here not long ago. That's going to go close. It's a goal. Oh, Frost would be disappointed with himself there. 12-6 to 10-5.
I don't think he could reach it, Bruce. With a terrific bit of play at half-back. That was a magnificent take by Gavin Walsh. He had no hope of getting the ball, one would have thought. Put his hands on it. But then West Adelaide, they continued to follow up, and Peter Muret came through the middle and just flicked it out of Walsh's hands, because Walsh was not in good balance, and then scored a very, very good goal. Rady's back into gear again. It's good to see. That was a very nasty blow he took. Carey and Williams in the centre. Borchard. 2 hits away to Carey. Carey not handling the ball with any confidence at all. In fact, he's certainly lacking a yard. Grantley Filkey, he's gone. Ball flies out of his hands. Then he's tackled again. Somerton. West Adelaide is certainly lifting a little bit now. The fumble there won't help them by Leon Grosser, but he knocks the ball forward. And coming in, Bruce Linder. Oh, that's power. He's holding the ball. He should have given the handball out. But when he broke clear with such pace, he thought he was clear. And Darryl Rady's going to come off the ground, I think. And that's what everybody else thought. And there he is standing there on his own with the trainer, and he's bolted. The trainer's been left for dead as Darryl Rady's bolted and Stoughty's pushed in the back. And he'll receive a free kick at half forward for Glenelg. I don't think Rady will come off this century. He doesn't like giving up, the old bush ranger.
Stoughty with a high one. Kernahan the front spot, and he takes the mark. Well, of course, the Bays have got Murphy off already. Again, the trainer goes to Rady.
He's probably got a broken rib or something.
Think about Scott Salisbury for a moment. He's about to come on for the first time and Rady won't give him a chance. He hasn't played league football before. Finally, Rady comes off.
He's asking the bloke now, what the devil I have to come for? I've just come good.
Salisbury will come on and Kernahan will have a shot for goal. Drop punt. I think he's got it. He has. So Kernahan's got 3. Drama at Football Park as Glenelg get within 7 points.
Yes. Stephen Kernahan up in that full forward area, Bruce, is certainly a big plus for the Glenelg's side, because Peter Carey in the ruck, if you can just give them a little bit in there now, and get it up to Kernahan, him and Seabohm certainly give them some marking power.
Carey and Williams, what a great game it's been. 23 goals scored, we're not even up to half-time.
Hit Williams on the head then, as a new approach to knocking the ball.
Lannis, ball up. West Adelaide has kicked 7 goals and Glenelg has kicked 5 since quarter time. Williams underneath it, just lays it down to Hamilton. He's out of touch, Hamilton, having a bad game. Marshall with a high one. Kernahan, can he take it again? Winter got his hands to it. Seabohm almost. Micken as far as Winter. Bad handball. Lannis read it well, then handballed it to himself. Then caught, holding the ball.
That umpire made a guess then, Bruce. He was on the blind side. Player handballed it, was penalised for dropping the ball. Advantage to Grantley Filkey. Dreyer kicks it to centre wing. Awkward bounce there. Hamilton backing up, takes possession, gives it to Conlon. Conlon to Smith. Smith balls up on the face. A little unfortunate. Warding off, he flicked away and just hit the Glenelg player in the face. Nothing in it. Free kick to Gavin Walsall. Walsh will clear for Glenelg from half-back. 50 metres to the half-forward line. So dead heat there at the centre of the ground. But I think he's going to park to the Glenelg player who was in front. Mark Dreyer certainly put a solid pair of hands. But the kick being taken by Adam Garther. Kernahan high. McGuinness can't take it off hands. Picked up there by one of the Winters. Peter Winter. And kicked to Randall Bennett.
Bennett, the biggest kick getter on the field so far. Drop punt. Muret looking for a free. Carey doing the roving work.
Beautifully.
Stouty. Still Stouty. McDermott with a low one. Kernahan should get it. Oh, he's a good footballer.
Mark Micken very tired, Bruce. Hasn't got the gallop. When that ball dropped short, Kernahan changed direction. He changed direction much more quickly than Mark Micken.
Probably for the first time this year, the West Adelaide fans will think of Dexter Kennedy in that back pocket. It'd be very handy right now. Kernahan from the pocket. Drop punt, straight as a die. Kernahan's got 4, and in a remarkable first half, Glenelg are within a point. Micken and Carey. Micken has been in the back pocket for about 15 minutes. Lannis is doing some good roving work, only as far as Dreyer. Dreyer and Garton opposed to one another with Murphy off. Muret, Walsh, Carey, slays at the Walsh. Walsh with a high one. Kernahan almost. Conlon played a splendid game. One bounce. Then a drop punt. He punches at the centre half forward. Lindner running back. Oh, what a mark. Super mark, Robert, that one.
Beautiful taken. The ball floating through the air. It almost looked as though Michael Farquhar had his hand across to spoil the ball. But Lindner just hung in the air, and then it just floated into his hands and caressed it down. Beautifully done. 70 metres from goal. The kick's hit his foot very heavily, but strongly, and it's a goal.
3 to Lindner, 13-6 to 12-5.
What an advantage Bruce Lindner has been at centre-half forward for West Adelaide. I think he's got one thing over Michael Smith. He loves to run towards the ball and contest it as it's coming in from that half-back line. Mike Smith, on the other hand, tends to like the ball coming over the top of half-forward so that he can drift back into that goal square. We've seen him do it once this quarter, but that was a magnificent mark and goal by Bruce Lindner.
So it's Carey against Micken. Going to be a very, very long quarter. Just been so many goals scored. Marshall off the ground. Carey caught. Marshall to Duthie. Duthie with a left footer. Garton way out in front of Dreyer takes the mark.
Done quite a good job at centre-half forward.
Broken Hill. High one. Kernahan and Williams. Williams this time. He takes the mark. He might be the best bet back there on Kernahan. I can remember the day that he stitched up Rick Davies. Kicked to Conlon. And off he goes, the little fellow. Long handball to Winter. Roger Winter with a small one to Borchard. Now Borchard's got Muret running. They'll play the 1-2. Now will it set? It does. Borchard ran himself into the pocket, then comes back towards Smith and he takes the mark.
Peter Maynard getting a little bit loose again then, Bruce. He was the one man who didn't follow up very closely across to that half-forward line. They're going to play man on man. That was good advantage play, though. Beautifully positioned there for Mike Smith. Now it'll be Smith from 30 metres to West Adelaide's 14th. And the 14th it is. Lovely kick there by Michael Smith. It's his third goal this quarter.
Neil Kerley must be very, very happy with the move he made at quarter time. Jeff Morris looked to be out of touch. He brought Mike Smith onto the ground, and Smith has been a big winner because he's kicked 3 goals in this term. The pace from one end to the other has been fantastic in this quarter.
Mike Smith changed sides too, Bruce. They're switching around on that half-forward line. He's come across to the member stand side. They're certainly moving around. And Michael Farquhar is standing him at the moment. Carey and Micken. Carey laying it down to Micken. Beautifully intercepted. Kick forward. This is what Maynard likes to do, is run at the ball. He can't take possession. He's fighting hard, though, for it on the ground. It's just getting knocked forward. Gavin Walsh takes the free kick at half-back. Maynard, beautiful bit of tackling there by Roger Winter, but Maynard still gets the ball out wide to Tony McGuinness. He's got Simons running clear at centre wing. And he kicks it to him. Tony Simons. Marshall. Back to Simons. Beautiful running on, though, by Hamilton. Checked up magnificently for his team. Gave Campbell the opportunity to rebound. And now coming out of it again, back to Leon Grosser. Grosser through the centre to half-forward.
Lynn at the front spot. Farquhar over the back. Taken the mark. Farquhar is the third opponent that Graham Campbell has placed on Mike Smith in this term. Started with Maynard, then McFarlane, and then Farquhar. Drop punt. Salisbury the front spot. Summerton over the back. Called play on. Simons, ball up. Salisbury coming on with Brady going off. Salisbury getting a chance today. And Ralph Sewell was omitted before the game. So it's Carey and Micken to Grosser. Smith and Farquhar. Smith sort of just tries to lay it away, but he didn't get very far. Farquhar with him, and again a ball up. 27.5 minutes gone. It's going to be a quarter of at least 31 minutes.
Carey in the front position. Just laying it to McGuinness. McGuinness just lets the ball go to ground. He wouldn't take possession. No more can Mike Smith. Or Peter Muret. Or whoever else might have wanted it. Carey in front. Borchard intercepts the bad bounce. Linda's tackle. It flies out of his hands. Picked up by McGuinness. Gives it across to Duthie. Duthie to Garton. Garton ahead of Dreyer. Moves away under his left foot. Kicks it in short. Intercepted there by Candelaftis. And he'll receive a free kick for holding on against Michael Lunch. It'll be John Candelaftis giving it to Dreyer. Dreyer running through the centre half-back position towards Grosser. Grosser the centre half forward with a missed kick screw punt. Linda in front. Plucks the ball out of the air and bolts. A beautiful ward. That's the way to do it. Into his chest, not into his face. Laid back by Roger Winter to Smith. Smith evades. Gives it to Grosser. And here's Westie's 15th coming up. Leon Grosser, full points. West Adelaide 15-6. Glenelg 12-5.
What a marvellous performance it was by West Adelaide in that second quarter, kicking 11 goals too and setting up a 4-goal lead. They went on to win 29-13, 187. Glenelg 23-11, 149. Lots and lots of goal kickers. Luders, Linner and Smith, 5 each for West. Muret 4, Roger Winter 3 and Leon Grosser 3. And for Glenelg, Kernahan 6, McGuinness and Garton 4 each, Rady and Seabohm 2 each. And after the game, Neil Kerley and Robert Odie discussed the match.
I think, you know, today's win was a more important win for us than people realise. We haven't beaten Glenelg for, I think, it's something like 8 or 9 years. And we haven't beaten them here. And that's a mental thing. And to get over that hurdle and to beat them like we did is a good sign. I was very pleased. Sure, you know, we let them through for too many goals. But our attacking type of game is always going to leave a little bit of looseness behind. And if we lose possession across, say, our half-forward line, which we did today a lot, their rebound caught us out a lot.
Yes, and I thought your use of players was excellent. Neil, off the bench, you've got players like Hamilton, Watson, that you bring up, and Muret you've started on the bench in other games. He played for the game today. Is that by design because of perhaps a little lack of pace to keep them up to it?
Yeah, a little lack of pace. Plus, I don't like sitting players on the fence all day, because then they're missing out on valuable match practice. If you can keep interchanging them and using them, I think it does keep them in the game. Whereas if they sit on the fence all day, they're not in the game, and therefore they've got to start again the following week. Big feature about the day was that Glenelg killed us in ruck. You know, they hurt us in ruck badly. Not so much in the centre bounce, which they won on the day, but in the general field play. Kernahan and Carey, to a lesser extent, were far too good there. Kernahan's was a great game, and to have that happen to you and then still be able to kick 28 goals was a good feature.
You had a few chances today. You seemed to get within about 2 goals, 2.5 goals, and yet West Adelaide were capable of kicking away. It was as if your defence couldn't quite hold them for long enough.
That's fair comment. They couldn't. You know, we've got to do something about it. We just can't have over 20 goals kicked against us every week and saying, well, let's leave it sit. You know, and we're looking very hard and long at our back line for next week against Norwood. You know, what is frustrating is to get within 2 goals with 15 minutes to go and lose by 6. We might say we could have been a bit tired in the legs from last Tuesday night. You say that now, you've lost the game. But the game was there to be won, and they did get too many easy goals late in that quarter. We'll still be there, don't worry about that.
Glenelg down, but certainly not out.
I wouldn't think so, but if the media and the general public think we are, they're in for a rude awakening.
And looking at the stats from the game, Graham Campbell there, West Adelaide 212 to Glenelg 198 in the kicks. In the marks, just 3 the difference. Quite a few more handballs for West Adelaide, 22 more. Free kicks very even, 28 to 31. Out of the centre, Glenelg won at 21 to 17, and scoring shots, West Adelaide 42 to 34. It's the first time West has beaten Glenelg at Football Park. It's the biggest score West has ever kicked at Football Park, and the combined score of 52-24 is the highest ever for any game at Football Park. So a record-breaking day. West Adelaide on top of the ladder. We'll come back after the break and we'll wrap up the other games and have a look at the ladder from here and in Melbourne.